How did you like your time here in suburban?
It was pretty awesome
Yeah.
compared to living in my van. It was really good.
What kind of van did you have again?
It was a Ford.
A Ford?
Yeah, just a regular econo van. So
Like a minivan?
no, it was a regular size van.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was not fun.
No.
In the cold, no, not at all.
So Rob, before he was homeless, he was 62 years old. He was a dog owner, had a family, had kids, lived in Arvada, was an Arvada resident. And again, just things that can happen to any of us. Situations happened. His son passed away. His wife and him got a divorce. His rent payments increased, and he found himself living in a car with 3 dogs. So in thinking about Rob's story, it's truly a story of determination, a story of living for something that is bigger than himself, and a story of how he is doing a lot better now than when he was homeless.
So a typical day for me, having to be concerned about my dogs, because that was my biggest concern the whole time, was the welfare of my dogs. Working a full-time job, having to make sure that I was prepared and ready to go to work every day, that I looked presentable. I paid for a membership to a gym so I could take a shower and clean myself up every day to go to work. That was pretty time consuming to do that every day.
He got knocked down time and time again through life, but really what held him together was his dogs. Gypsy and Belle and Baby, his dogs. He was like, I cannot live on the streets anymore for his dogs. And he found a purpose that was higher than himself. And he was able to pull himself up and say, I'm gonna go reach out. And then we gave him this opportunity, a motel room for 2.5 months. And his no quit attitude, when given a little bit of support, he launched like a rocket ship and he took off, and now he's in something, and he's never going to be homeless again, right? Because he was given that little bit of support to reestablish himself that he's never had before. But we just activated that can-do attitude, that never quitting, that he's always had in himself since he was trained in the military. And we were able to engage that for him to propel.
I joined the Army in 1989. Looking for medical benefits for my family. My wife and I, we didn't have children at the time. Went to basic training at Fort Leonard Wood, graduated there, went to Defense Language Institute in Monterey, California, was sent there to study Spanish. They found out I already spoke German, so they switched me to the German school. Graduated from that, and then they offered me a chance to get out of the Army. My wife's dad was dying of cancer and she wanted to go back home. So we got out of the Army and moved back to New York.
Veterans that are on the streets, there is a Colorado program that is called the Veteran by Name List. This list goes out across all the counties, and every single veteran that is homeless goes on these lists, where there is resources created for our veterans that are on the streets. And just like in Rob's situation, where there's housing outcomes, usually within a couple months. For the average person that's on the streets, it usually takes 3 to 4 years for a similar housing situation. But the state has prioritized veterans to get them off the streets. And in Jefferson County, right about now, there's about 20 to 30 homeless veterans out of the 920 to 950 that are out there.
That's one of my other dogs. That's Baby. She's about 14. She's blind. She had heartworm when I got her, so now she's fixed from that. Can't fix the blindness, but we got rid of the heartworm. So that's my oldest dog, Gypsy. She's the one that I've had the longest, and she's the one that's a service dog, and she's the one that helps me with training at PetSmart. She's probably 16 in that picture. It's hard right now. She's 17 and she won't be around much longer. To me, it was like if you were an actor being on stage 24/7 and having to put on a face 24/7 to not show what life was really like for me, it was not easy. It really was.